Alright, what's up YouTube? This is the Upstate Prepper coming at you. I want to talk to you today about the Cerveza Bug, that pesky bug that's going around all over the world now. I want to talk to you a little bit about the bug and go over some of the things that I'm doing to get ready for it, and a few things that I think maybe you should be doing too, obviously. So, without further ado, the Cerveza Bug, it presents as flu-like symptoms to begin with, and it basically what it is it is a flu, but it has a respiratory component to it that ends up causing pneumonia. Obviously, your lungs that fill up with fluid. In some people, it becomes a very bad pneumonia and a mortal pneumonia. Other people get it mildly, so you have anywhere from mild symptoms to death and everywhere in between. It's estimated that the Spanish flu killed about 15 million people, which it was, as of right now, is the worst pandemic of any kind, percentages wise. It's believed, I believe, the Black Plague, the Black Death, killed about 100 million people worldwide. But the percentage of it was lower. Right now, these are the official numbers. The official numbers are 78,000 infected with over 2,400 that have expired. That puts the Cerveza Bug right at 3.2%, 3.4% mortality rate. That's pretty high. That's much higher than other viruses, many other viruses and diseases. That's the official numbers. The official numbers in Iran are 61 cases with 12 mortal cases. That puts the rate of mortality at 20%. That rate in Taiwan is about 10%. In Japan, but they have over 300 cases alone just from the cruise ship. Passengers that were quarantined there for 2 weeks. Now, the problem with Japan is we now know that the bug can take up to 27 days to present symptoms. So, 4 weeks. So, they had a 2-week quarantine period, and then their citizens, those which had not tested positive for the bug, were allowed to leave. They were allowed to go home and go carry on life after the 14-day quarantine. Now, since then, a number of people have returned back to the hospital that previously presented as being negative, that are now positive. So I think, my opinion is Japan is going to be seeing a larger outbreak. There's over 600 cases in South Korea. It's really expanding there. Now here in America, we're at 35 cases that are being reported, official reports. Again, this is my opinion. It's my opinion that the number of cases everywhere, especially in China, are being misrepresented. I do believe they're much higher than what is being reported. In Iran, it's speculated that the numbers are being lowballed, and that's pretty bad when it's 61 and 12. It was on Al Jazeera English today. being reported that it's believed that at least 50 people have passed away. So therefore, the number of cases has to be, much greater than 61 also. And my opinion is that I don't even believe that the numbers here in America are probably accurate. I think that they're most likely more than what's being reported. There's reports everywhere in local papers and stuff of people being tested and stuff. It's I think it's being hidden even here. That's just my opinion. Like I said, it presents as a flu. The normal flu only has about a 1% mortality rate. Now, the reason the 3%, even 3.4%, the reason this is really important is because it's speculated that this is going to reach a large portion of the population. It's already come out by the CDC that this could be a global pandemic and could reach the likes of 5 billion people worldwide. So that 3.4%, and that's what's reported, I guess in China. That's their official numbers, and with all their cases, that translates into, if you have 100 million infections, that's 3.4 million people that are going to pass away. If you have 1 billion infections, that's 34 million people that are going to pass away. And if you have 5 billion infections, like the CD says, is likely, highly possible to have 5 billion infections before this thing is over. Now you're talking about 170 million people who will expire from the Cerveza Bug. That's a lot of people. That's more than numbers of countries put together, population-wise. That's a lot of people. You can imagine that's more than half of the entire population of the United States. Speaking of which, I think it's important to realize that officially there are 500 million people that are in quarantine in China. Now, and this is why I think that things are being underreported and that we're not getting the full story. You got 500 million people in quarantine in China. You've got their named numbers, which are bad enough. You have all these tweets coming out of China of doctors that are saying it's so much worse than what it's being reported, and nurses and videos of people being dragged out of their homes or dragged out of wherever and dragged down the street, thrown into a van and taken away. People in hazmat suits and the police, and a video of a woman throwing herself out of a building rather than get dragged away by these people. So obviously they know something about where they're going, that if you're willing to throw yourself out of a 7-story building to your death rather than get taken to a facility, quote unquote facility, obviously that's not good. Supposedly incinerators are being brought in, and gases or gas levels of burning flesh. There's far too much to quarantine 500 million people for 2,400 deaths. I don't know if you would do that normally. 500 million people is more than the entire population of the United States of America by like 150 million people. It's the United States of America plus Canada plus Mexico plus all of Central America and probably half of South America too. We're talking an enormously huge population of people that are quarantined. It seems to me, my opinion would be that it's got to be much worse to be doing all of this. Keep in mind, these people are not going to work. There's nothing being made, which means nothing's going to be getting shipped soon, if not already, which means here the shelves are going to start going bare because most everything we buy is made in China, you know, and that's just the way it is. It's all the little cheap stuff we buy that we love so much. It all comes from China. It all comes from China. So I've got myself a nice cup of coffee. I think everybody should have a nice cup of coffee early in the morning. If you don't have one, go get one. So, what's the Upstate Prepper doing getting ready for the Cerveza Bug? And that's all the facts with what's going on to the best of my understanding and my knowledge and what I think so far. So what are we doing to here in the Upstate Preppers world to get ready for this? The first thing you really need to talk about is air. Now what you need is a good N95 mask at minimum. N99, N100, hey, that's even better. But you need a good N95 mask that you can, you know, that fits you, that you can be worn tight. Got your filters, and make sure you have a lot of extra filters because these things don't last forever. You have to change them out. You gotta have a mask. Now, if you don't have that, or if you want, you can upgrade yourself up to a half-face respirator. This is going to work really great too. Really, the mask though probably works almost as well, if not just as well. So, you know, whether you get the respirator or not is really up to you. The problem is that you can also get the Cerveza Bug through the eyes. So neither the respirator or the face mask is going to take care of that problem. So what you need is you need some sort of eye protection, some sort of goggles, something that has a rubber inlet, so when you put them on, they create a tight fit, an airtight fit. Then you're in good protection. And now you've got your face, your nose covered properly, and you've got your eyes covered properly. That is your ideal setup as far as protection. If you want, you can always upgrade to a full face mask respirator, which is going to look like this, and then have you know, a face mask that would sit on your entire face, or you have, you know, a gas mask in which you can use. Either of those are ideal. You know, one piece. The full face respirator is going to be easier to use than a gas mask, but those would offer 100% protection as far as the face is concerned in regards to the virus. The next thing that you really need to worry about is sanitizing. Now, you should be stocking up right now on things like Lysol spray, or wipes, Lysol or Clorox wipes for wiping things off. These are virucides. They're very effective at killing the flu virus, 99.9% effective at the flu virus. Remember, this does present as the flu. This is going to definitely help you with keeping things sanitized within your home. Spraying or wiping off door handles, light switches, the refrigerator door handle, the dishwasher handle, the remote, tables, things of that nature. Keeping your house as sanitized as much as possible. Also, make sure you've got some bleach at home. This is going to be critical for disinfecting a lot of stuff. You need to have that covered. You're also going to want to make sure that you've got some antibacterial, antimicrobial Germex, some sort of hand sanitizer like that. Now, keep in mind brand names that are here. I'm not endorsing any sort of brand name. This is just what I have here. You can get whatever brand names you like. In fact, with many things that you don't even have to go brand name, they're 100% just as good every day, the generic or value brands. Along with that, if you can, I would get some antimicrobial dish soap so that when you're washing your dishes, you can be washing them with antimicrobial dish soap. Of course, the hottest water you can stand with washing them. If you're washing them in the dishwasher, you do have the sanitizer rinse and stuff that you can use that will hopefully take care of most things. So I don't know if I haven't had a chance to investigate whether there's antimicrobial laundry detergent, but if there is, by all means pick that up, start using that for a while. Otherwise, wash your clothes in hot water and then put them in the dryer, obviously on high heat. And you want to dry them for a period of time longer than normal, longer what's actually required to dry the clothes. That way it gets